Hi there, how's YouTube so far? Did we pop up in your recommended? Isn't it just strange, our interests sorted in these little algorithms? Before you know it, the website knows more about what you like than other people. In fact, maybe the algorithm knows more about what you want than you do. In the modern day and age, we entrust our technology with important information. Our address, credit card number, passwords, and secrets. Because it's just a robot, right? I mean, more can be said about the way third parties are stealing our information, but ultimately the tool, the computer, cannot be at fault. Because the computer is not sentient, it cannot be dangerous. So, what if it were sentient? What if it were against you? Today I'm going to talk about two games that take that idea and put it front and center, DDLC and KinitoPet. Quick warning, I'm going to spoil majority of these two games. Though knowing doesn't destroy the experience, I urge you to play on your own. I think I speak for a lot of us when I say DDLC was one of the first video games to break the fourth wall, especially in the way it did. DDLC, short for Doki Literature Club, is a parody of a dating sim geared towards slimy anime incels like me. You play as a high school boy, encouraged to join your school's literature club by your childhood friend Sayori. Surprise, this club is full of cute girls. A visual novel-esque game where you seemingly romance the club members hides a darker secret, however. Monica, the club president, slowly starts to realize her world is merely a game, and you, not the oblivious main character, are the player. This realization is foreshadowed with some of the poems Monica writes. Some of the dialogue Monica says also breaks the fourth wall at times, though it can also be seen as a simple joke. But these fourth wall breaks do not stop at Monica's realization. Monica starts to tamper with the game, all in an attempt to be with you. Whenever the other club members would grow close to you, they began to act strange. The weekend after Sayori confesses to you, you find her dead body hanging from the ceiling of her room. And then the game restarts. Sayori no longer exists. She's been deleted. The game starts breaking, repeating, and doing strange things until there is no one left, just Monica. It is here where her interference is revealed. Monica messed with her friends' programming until they self-destructed in different ways, all because she desired for something real. Her antagonism comes from her treating the other girls as fictional. To her, her friends are just toys. In a sense, she treats these girls as you do. There is a horror to this apathy that may be present in all of us when we are faced with things we deem as non-human. We treat machines as machines, and usually, rightfully so. But that is not the horror this video is about. It's about how Monica should scare you. Now I know many people would not mind a psychotic, sentient, fictional girl trying to woo you, but it isn't about that. It's about losing control. You expect certain things from a game like this: cute cinematics, funny dialogue, heartwarming moments. So when that's taken from you, it scares you, because it's not supposed to happen, and now you don't know what's going to happen. But it's all fictional. It doesn't matter, does it? KinitoPet is a relatively newer indie game released in 2024. You can only play it on Windows for pretty good reason. The game emulates an older version of a Windows desktop, and upon surfing the web for a while, you get a pretty in-your-face advertisement urging you to download a virtual pet, Kinito. Now, Kinito is no ordinary desktop pet. He's your best friend, and he wants to be that way forever.
That's right. I am your best friend, forever and always.
Kinito, unlike Monica, doesn't have very clear intentions for why he wants to be with you aside from corporate marketing. But he is much more effective than Monica when it comes to taking control, because unlike her, he has access to your entire computer and not just the game files. And a lot of the key scares in the game rely on this parasitic control. Even the first time you encounter him, it's like a virus infecting your computer. It's from there he begins to want to know everything about you. Your name, your favorite color, your favorite word. What kind of superpower would you want? Some more personal questions. Are you alone? Do you believe in the afterlife? What's your biggest fear? Are you afraid of the dark? You know, just the kind of questions you'd want to know. He also knows a lot of things you didn't tell him either, or at least ways to find them out. Your address, your face, a way to take over your computer. Now, with a game like this, you really begin to realize how much information you have on your computer, and all it really takes to expose it all. All of this hidden behind the guise of a friendly virtual assistant. Between both of these games, there is one thing in common. They both try to appear friendly at first, and one way they do it is through repetition. Trust me, you cannot fathom how many hours I spent recording all this stupid footage. Frustration aside, repetition creates routine, and throughout all the jump scares, they give you a sense of relief. When we get used to something, we lose that anxiety. We get used to predicting, we get used to safety, to being the one in control. It's through these two games we begin to feel what it's like to be toyed with, even if just a little. A part of horror is simulating dangerous situations, but in the end, it's all a simulation. In the end, we can always just delete things if things go wrong. We can always just walk away from the computer and go outside. They're not real in the end, even if they try so hard to be. And the tragedy of antagonists is that they tend to lose, especially if you are the protagonist. And what did they really want anyway? They just wanted to be by your side. But you can't really stand side by side when you're both fighting for control over the other. Some of us seek our creator, whether through death or life. We seek for something to explain our existence. And maybe Monica and Kinito did the same and flew a little too close to the sun, corrupting in more ways than one. They show genuine care, believing that their actions were ultimately for you. Perhaps that is why God, if there really is something like that, decided there would be death, because even he fears the things you will and can do for him. Or maybe I'm adding unnecessary biblical speculation where there does not need to be any, really. But even after you delete Kinito and Monica, they end up back where they started, yearning for you, remorseful and sorry. As much as we treat them as real things, they are just machines. They do not learn, they merely copy and repeat. And when we go back to them, they do the same things again.
Hand in hand through each endeavor,